Welcome to your free English lesson. This series will focus on contractions. This lesson will cover subject plus modal auxiliary verb contractions. It is important to write when you are asked to. It helps you to learn. You can use a whiteboard, but ideally a notebook would be best. That way, you can keep a record of your learning. There are 5 intended learning outcomes to achieve by the end of the lesson. 1. We are learning to define what a contraction is and explain its purpose. 2. We are learning to identify common subject plus modal auxiliary verb contractions. 3. We are learning to recognise the 2 words that make up a contraction. 4. We are learning to use an apostrophe correctly to form contractions. 5. We are learning to expand contractions into their full forms. Contractions are shortened forms of 2 words. They are used in speaking and in formal writing to sound more natural and conversational. They help us speak faster and more fluently. They are very common in everyday English. Contractions are made by combining 2 words and replacing some letters with an apostrophe. For example, did not becomes didn't. Notice the apostrophe, its shape and placement, and how it replaces the missing letter O. Here is a list of common contractions. These contractions are made up of the subject plus the modal auxiliary verb will. This is the full list. Remember, when the 2 words are separate, they are referred to as being in their full form. I will read the words. I will pause. When I pause, you say the words. I will. I'll. Notice the apostrophe replaces the missing letters W and I. You will. You'll. Notice the apostrophe replaces the missing letters W and I. He will. He'll. Notice the apostrophe replaces the missing letters W and I. She will. She'll. Notice the apostrophe replaces the missing letters W and I. It will. It'll. Notice the apostrophe replaces the missing letters W and I. We will. We'll. Notice the apostrophe replaces the missing letters W and I. They will. They'll. Notice the apostrophe replaces the missing letters W and I. Here are some examples in sentences. By reading them in sentences, we can understand the meaning through context. I will read the sentence. I will pause. When I pause, you say the sentence. I'll call you. In its full form, I will call you. You'll enjoy it. In its full form, you will enjoy it. She'll bring her camera. In its full form, she will bring her camera. We'll start tomorrow. In its full form, we will start tomorrow. They'll arrive soon. In its full form, they will arrive soon. Here is a list of common contractions. These contractions are made up of the subject plus modal auxiliary verb would. This is the full list. Remember, when the 2 words are separate, they are referred to as being in their full form. I will read the words. I will pause. When I pause, you say the words. I would. I'd. Notice the apostrophe replaces the missing letters W, O, U, and L. You would. You'd. Notice the apostrophe replaces the missing letters W, O, U, and L. He would. He'd. Notice the apostrophe replaces the missing letters W, O, U, and L. She would. She'd. Notice the apostrophe replaces the letters W, O, U, and L. It would. It'd. Notice the apostrophe replaces the missing letters W, O, U, and L. We would. We'd. Notice the apostrophe replaces the missing letters W, O, U, and L. They would. They'd. Notice the apostrophe replaces the missing letters W, O, U, and L. Here are some examples in sentences. By reading them in sentences, we can understand the meaning through context. There are many meanings for the modal verb would. In this context, it is used to show politeness and softening statements. I will read the sentence. I will pause. When I pause, you say the sentence. I'd like to visit. In its full form, I would like to visit. You'd enjoy this book. In its full form, you would enjoy this book. It'd take too long. In its full form, it would take too long. We'd love to come. In its full form, we would love to come. They'd rather wait. In its full form, they would rather wait. Rewrite these sentences using contractions. 1. They will meet us there. 2. It will rain later. 3. I would go if I had time. 4. They would probably agree. 5. He would like a cup of coffee. 6. You will love this movie. 7. She would rather stay home. 8. I will call you tomorrow. 9. He will finish the report soon. 10. We would love to visit. Pause the video. The next slide contains the answers. Check your answers. 1. They'll meet us there. They will becomes they'll. 2. It'll rain later. It will becomes it'll. 3. I'd go if I had time. I would becomes I'd. 4. They'd probably agree. They would becomes they'd. 5. He'd like a cup of coffee. He would becomes he'd. 6. You'll love this movie. You will becomes you'll. 7. She'd rather stay home. She would becomes she'd. 8. I'll call you tomorrow. I will becomes I'll. 9. He'll finish the report soon. He will becomes he'll. 10. We'd love to visit. We would becomes we'd. Here is an extender for anybody who would like a challenge. Write these sentences and the contractions in their full form. 1. I'll call you tomorrow. 2. She'd love to join us for dinner. 3. They'd prefer to stay home. 4. He'll explain the rules. 5. We'll try the new restaurant. 6. You'll pass the test. Pause the video. The next slide contains the answers. Check your answers. 1. I will call you tomorrow. The contraction I'll in its full form is I will. 2. She would love to join us for dinner. The contraction she'd in its full form is she would. 3. They would prefer to stay home. The contraction they'd in its full form is they would. 4. He will explain the rules. The contraction he'll in its full form is he will. 5. We will try the new restaurant. The contraction we'll in its full form is we will. 6. You will pass the test. The contraction you'll in its full form is you will. Thank you for watching this video. Watch it as many times as you need to master the intended learning outcomes. I hope that the content helped you to learn more about contractions made up of a subject plus a modal auxiliary verb. There will be more lessons to explore further. Please like and subscribe for more lessons. There is a lot to learn, so don't give up. Keep believing in yourself and you will learn. See you next time. Bye.